Right now on Up with KREM, a new challenge to a state gun law. A judge rules banning high-capacity magazines is unconstitutional.
We weren't surprised our state Supreme Court immediately stepped in and put a stop to it.
This morning, the ruling's implications statewide.
We want consumers to have a right to say that how their data could be used.
Plus, 2 Washington lawmakers are working on a historic data privacy bill. This morning, the new protections you could soon have online.
Showers will move out of the forecast today before a fairly windy day moves in. After that, we're looking at a few sunny days ahead.
I'm honored to be recognized as the first female for the fire chief in Spokane.
And the Lilac City is waking up to a new fire chief this morning. KREM 2 spoke to her about breaking barriers and what's next for the department.
Up with KREM begins now.
Hi friends, good morning. It is 6 o'clock here on your Tuesday. We're glad you're starting off a new day with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. Well, let's kick things off with a look at your weather forecast. Brandon T. Jones joining us. He's in for meteorologist Thomas Patrick once again, who maybe has a little bit of a solar eclipse hangover, should we call it that? That guy was living his best life yesterday.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. Shout out to meteorologist Thomas Patrick. I know he probably couldn't even go to sleep how pumped up he was yesterday. He got a beautiful picture. I know he's going to share it with you when he gets back on Thursday. But in terms of what we're expecting today, we're expecting some of those showers to move out. I know many of you probably woke up to some wet grounds, or as you start to head out for the morning, you'll probably see that in your driveway. And then once those showers move out, we're expecting a windy day followed by that. Probably from the hours of around 12 to 6, we'll see high winds with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. And then it'll be partly sunny because there's going to be a lot of clouds in the sky for today. You can see it right there in your image over Coeur d'Alene at this moment. Currently 43 degrees with winds moving about 17 miles per hour, but there is sun on the way, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a few moments.
Happening today, a judge will re-sentence a Spokane man who was found guilty of a 1994 murder. A jury convicted Kevin Boot of the murder of Felicia Reese, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But a 2012 U.S. Supreme Court ruling said that you can't sentence a juvenile to life without parole. And since Boot was 17 at the time of the murder, his current sentence is unconstitutional. Boot is now seeking a 30-year sentence with credit for time served, meaning his time in prison would be almost over. He will be resentenced at 2 o'clock this afternoon. New in the last 24 hours, a Washington judge has ruled that the state's ban on high-capacity magazines is unconstitutional. However, this morning, gun shops are still banned from selling the magazines because of a quick appeal. The law passed back in 2022 and banned people from buying any magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson says he's not worried if the ban ends up before the Supreme Court because 14 other states have similar bans in place. Ferguson says all those bans have withstood the legal test.
They've had opportunities to reverse and overturn bans on the sale of high-capacity magazines in the past, and they've declined to do that. We're confident that the Supreme Court will do what courts around the country have been doing for years, upholding these bans on the sale of high-capacity magazines.
The law will now go before the state Supreme Court for a ruling. Yesterday, patrons enjoyed the first solar eclipse at the Masters since 1940. Look at those limited edition glasses. Augusta National providing glasses for those in attendance. It wasn't a total eclipse, but about 75% of the sun was eclipsed by the moon in Augusta. And by the way, you can catch the final 2 rounds from the Masters this Saturday and Sunday right here on KREM 2. This morning, the madness is finally over. For the second year in a row, the UConn Huskies are celebrating a men's college basketball national title. They beat Purdue 75-60 in the championship game last night in Arizona. The Huskies went into halftime with a 6-point lead, with their defense really stepping up in the second half, allowing them to pull away from Purdue.
I just think it's the best 2-year run, I think, in a very, very long time, just because of everything we lost from last year's team.
This is UConn's sixth men's basketball title. They're the first men's basketball team to repeat as champions since the Florida Gators did it in 2007. All right, here is your warning. Tax day is now less than 1 week away. The deadline to file your taxes for 2023 is Monday, April 15th. This morning, we are taking a look at your money and what you need to file on time and avoid any penalties. Everyone's taxes look different, of course, but the most common documents you'll likely need to file are a W-2. That's your official wage and tax statement, which you should have received from your employer, a 1099 form, which are given by independent contractors, or if you've earned any interest from stocks or investments, and or received any dividends. And a 1098 form is for those who have mortgage or student loan interest. Tax experts say if you file electronically and get your refund through direct deposit, you'll get it sooner. If you really need more time, anyone can file for an extension, but you must do that by April 15th as well.
I don't think the gender should be a barrier, but I also don't think it should be a focus.
Spokane is about to have its first female fire chief in the history of the department. Julie Oberg was appointed yesterday, but has been serving as the interim chief for the last several months. Originally, she said she didn't want the chief job, but she told KREM 2's Whitney Ward why she changed her mind.
We are here to serve the community, and we couldn't be more proud to do that. I couldn't be more proud of the team that now I get the honor of just being at the forefront of, and without that team, I couldn't do it.
What does it mean to you to be the first female chief?
Oh, wow. So I'm honored to be recognized as the first female for the fire chief in Spokane. So as firefighters, our duty is to serve and protect, and it's about the skills, the experience that we bring. So I really want the focus, while I'm proud and I'm very honored to represent women in the fire service, I want the focus not to be on the gender, but on the important work that we have ahead of us.
You did mention that you were looking forward to adapting and evolving, recognizing that the needs of the community are changing. So what do you mean by that, and what do you see changing?
We're called the fire department, and fighting fire is really, it's a very important part of what we do, but it's one small part. So really making sure that we are focused on not only firefighting, but prevention, the emergency medical part, the mental health part that we can play a role in. So it's making sure that there is an understanding out there in the community of, we show up in a big fire truck, but we bring so many solutions with us on that fire truck.
So you had originally said that you did not want to pursue the chief position when you agreed to serve in the interim role. So what made you change your mind?
Well, I'll say Mayor Brown's very compelling, and she's doing some great work. So it's pretty exciting to remain a part of her team, and it's pretty exciting to remain a part of the team that we have here at the fire department. So we have some really talented people that want to do some good work for the community, and being able to be on that team and help lead that team is a compelling reason to stick around.
History in Spokane. That's pretty neat. And as we take a live look over Coeur d'Alene right now, we're expecting some of those rain showers to move out this day. A lot of you, if you can see on your screen as well, woke up to some wet grounds because of overnight rain. Early morning showers possibly taking place over in North Idaho, but currently 43 degrees, winds moving about 17 miles per hour. We'll see those temperatures probably get up towards the mid to high 50s for today, but currently 43 over in Coeur d'Alene where we just were, 41 up in Sandpoint, a lot of 40s across the maps. But again, those are expected to kind of rise throughout the day. And then we'll also have your full forecast a little bit later, but also want to give you one quick look at our current Doppler radar. As you see those showers we were just talking about moving out the way, might get another quick shower around noon or 1 or so, but then winds are going to start picking up, and then after that, we're going to be expecting some pretty cool and calm conditions over the next few days.